Like like I've been telling everybody asks how you guys going to be. You get all those questions. How do you think? Do you like your team? I really like this group, but I really like this team. I wish I could say that about all 5 years I've been here, but I can't. So the big thing is I think we're better. The hard part is I think the whole league's better this year. So the challenge is, did we get better? And I think the answer is yes. And then the other challenge is, well, everybody else around us got better too. So how are we going to compete? I really like this group. They compete well. They care for each other. They're involved with each other. And it seems like a good, close-knit group that we're looking for good things out of this year. But I'm really looking forward to getting started. It's been couple months of practices and whatnot, but we're ready to go, I think.
Thank you. Chris, what are you looking forward to most this season?
I'm looking forward to the grind. Our goal is just to win a CIF championship for the first one for Servite, and we've been practicing ever since school started in August. So we should be ready to go for next week.
Jake, what makes Trinity League so special?
Well, the talent in the Trinity League is very special. You have guys on each team, probably a handful of guys are all Division I commits. And then we also have the 3-game series each week, which is always a challenge. It's a grind, especially when you go 4 weeks in a row against the Trinity League competition. And so just being able to play that kind of competition and getting ready for college, I think it's a really special atmosphere that we get to play in.
Great, thank you. And Garrett, in a few words, describe the program at Servite.
Well,
No pressure.
no. I mean, to me, the program it's like a family. I came freshman year, and we've nonstop been working hard. We all have a goal. I'd say we're really motivated because Servite in the past hasn't really been like a baseball school, so we're trying to get it we've been good for the last my last 3 years, and we're trying to keep it going. I think we're hardworking. We're dedicated, that's for sure, and we're just grinders. Like we want to be successful.
Great, thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and open up to the floor. Please make sure you announce who you represent.
Hey, Coach, I'm Connor. I'm with Scorebook Live. You mentioned how you think your team this year will be a little bit better than last year. Can you describe why a little bit more? Is it pitching? Is it hitting? Is it more experience? What do you think the reason is?
I think the reason being, I think we're more well-rounded at each position. We have some experience. Chris last year was a freshman. He has experience now. He has an understanding of what the league is going to demand from him. If he can get 2%, 5% better than he did last year, then that makes us better as a group. I think we're older as far as position player goes, but we're actually younger on the mound. He's only a sophomore, like I said, but there are other sophomores that are talented that we have, and we're really looking forward to what they can be. But I think each individual position is a little, I wouldn't say better, but more solid, we believe. I think the challenge for a lot of high schools, and us is no different, is going to be how we're going to score runs. And it's not about really, we got good defense, we have good pitching, and it's how we're going to get a few runs across for these guys that do such a good job of keeping the score close. Thanks.
Gilly, just looking at your roster, and it looks like you have more depth top to bottom in all of your classes, whereas in the past it was maybe senior-centric or junior class-centric. Now you have some really good sophomores, Chris being one of them. You've got some pretty good juniors. You obviously have a very good senior class. Mm-hmm. What's that process been like, kind of building that depth for your program over the last 5 years?
That's a good question. I wish I had an easy answer for that. I really don't. The process has been, hey, we're going to play the best guy. And if that's not you, then you are second. And there's no secret about that. I don't keep that a secret. I try not to keep it a secret anyway. Maybe they don't know, but we're fortunate to get. I had no idea this guy was coming to Servite. He comes to Servite, and I meet his dad at a shadow day, and his dad went to Servite, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that's the connection. But as far as building depth, man, I really don't know what the reason is. We've been able to develop some younger guys on the mound, and that's one of the easier things. Coach Page does a very good job, as you know, holding those pitchers accountable. But as far as the position player end, that's kind of my realm is how do we develop? Man, I don't know. They just show up and they compete, and they're forced to compete every day. I mean, we're in a situation where we have one facility, so we don't really the JV guys are with us, so they get to see, hey, if I'm a catcher, this is the standard, so I need to get better. So I think that's really a big thing is there's no JV way down there and varsity over here, and then you don't really get to see each other. But every day, these guys are next to the varsity players. So I think that kind of raises the standard for the most part. And then the freshmen come out right after that, and they're seeing us go at it, and they're seeing me lose my mind on this guy, and they're like, whoa, we better step it up. So, it's not really, I guess, it's the standard. We're trying to set a standard, like Garrett said. We've been in the playoffs for 3 years in a row. We're trying to set a standard. That's the norm. And then we try to go above that. And that's really what we're trying to do as a staff is set that standard of every day you have to show up and play. Because it's a college prep school, let's be honest. We're going to college prep them in English. We have to college prep these guys for college baseball. So the idea of the Trinity League being 3 games a week, I love that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, you get to see everybody's team. You don't get to see one pitcher. Every time you face these guys, we see, the Griffin Canning rule. Like, he pitches every day, and it's like, okay. So I really like that idea, and I think it's the closest thing we have to prepare these guys for college, because they have to get prepared for that Tuesday or that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's not easy, especially when you go night game, day game, or night game, day game. That's really difficult, and that's kind of what we get. We come to Mater Dei and we play at night, and then we got to go to our place and play in the day. So there's really less than 24-hour turnaround before we have to be ready to go again. And I think that's something that the league offers these guys that is, it's not, we're not the only one, obviously, but, we're one of the few that do it. And so I think they're more prepared for it. At least they know what to expect going in.
Yeah, I got a quick one. Steve Fryer from the Register.
Hi, Steve.
You guys, thanks, Jonathan. You guys have a unique baseball field at your place. It's kind of shaped kind of different. Is it an advantage for you guys at all? And also for the fellas, what field is it that you like visiting, that you really like going to play at?
Jake, what field do you like the best?
I really like Jay Sarah for all turf because there's no bad hops, especially when you're playing a corner position. You get balls smoked at you. Yeah, that's my favorite field.
I personally, I like Mater Dei and J. Sarah. The ball flies there. So, theirs is definitely a hitter's park, while ours is, I think I've seen like 2 balls go over in like 4 years. So, definitely Mater Dei and J. Sarah.
Him or me? Yeah, I'd like to pitch at Servite.
No, I like to pitch at Hart Park. It's a pitcher's park. Nothing gets out of there. And just how everyone just, especially in a night game, everyone's there to see you. A lot of scouts, but that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of a special atmosphere at the Heart. I like playing at home, Steve. I don't think there's an advantage or disadvantage playing at home. The only thing different about it is the outfield fence. It's kind of, cattywampus all the way around, and it's just a big park. That's what we kind of talk about on a regular basis. We have to be able to use our park to our advantage, and we have to be able to, hit the ball in the opposite way and stuff like that, because there's so much space out there. The wind blows across, so really for right-handers, it's not really a great place to hit home runs. I've seen them get knocked down multiple times. Emmanuel last year, Garrett several times. So it's just, you're right, it is different, but at the same time, it's our park, and we have to be good there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Steve Doherty, PBR.
I don't think you need the mic, Steve.
PBR, Steve Doherty. Garrett, USC. Chris, UCLA. I want you guys to talk a little bit about, why you chose those schools, and then we'll turn it over to Jake. Jake, you're one of the young committed ones. I've seen you play. I want to know if there's any extra added motivation because you aren't committed. You're a great player. You deserve to play college baseball. I just want to know your mindset kind of going into your senior season. Get kind of unique. There's 55, what do we say, 55, 50, 32 committed in the Trinity League. You should be one of them, and I just want to know if there's any added motivation going into the season. So we'll start with Garrett, Chris, and then Jake.
Okay, yeah. So I originally was committed to Oregon. I left due to the coaching change. So, I mean, USC kind of came in late. I wanted to play ball in the South, SEC or ACC. And then when I saw USC coming in like towards the end of the summer, I was like, you know, we can give this a shot. I mean, I like Coach Gill a lot. He recruited me my freshman year when he was at LMU. I heard a lot of good things about Alvarez and Silva as well. So, I mean, to me, I picked USC because, I mean, I love the tradition and everything. I mean, it's USC. Like the campus, I like the campus a lot. I enjoyed all the team, the coaches, and everything. And I think it's a Pac-12, yeah. And I think that Coach Gill is going to make that program go in the right direction. And I feel like I could fit there very well.
Good. Chris?
I chose UCLA because me and my family have always been UCLA fans, like throughout our whole life. And I think it's one of the top of the academics, and especially baseball. And Coach Savage, he makes all their teammates feel like home.
Mm-hmm.
So just that bond that they have, just really sets off.
Jake?
I don't know if it adds anything. I always like to play with the chip on my shoulder. I always like to play the game as hard as I can and play it the right way. My goal this year is just to play as hard as I can, help my team win some games, and I think everything else will fall into place. I think I'll just find the right fit for me.
I agree with you, Steve. He should be committed. He does a really good job, and that's why he's here. He's been one of our leaders. Unfortunately for him, we didn't have a first baseman when he got here as a freshman, and he showed the prowess around the bag that we needed because our first baseman also pitched. So the question all fall was, well, can Jake handle whether or not, just if we just put him on defense, can he just handle that? And because, you know, you walk into the league as a freshman, it's really difficult to match up offensively for anybody. And I don't think anybody's prepared for it as a freshman. Now, the faster you get better and the faster you can adapt, and the better you'll be. But for us, it was like, you know, I even talked to his dad, spoken like a true coach's son. You know, I was like, hey, do you think this is the right thing for him? You know, so it was a really difficult decision, but we didn't have another option at first base in his freshman year. And then unfortunately for him, he didn't get a chance to develop on the lower levels and get his feet wet and have some success. And I think that's bled into some issues for him. But I agree, man. This guy really plays the first base like a middle infielder. He does a great job. And I think he's going to find something that's a right, like you said, that's a right fit for him, and he deserves to play. He will play college baseball somewhere. You know, that I'm sure of.
Garrett, quick question. You had an opportunity this summer to take place in, or play in, I should say, the area code games, obviously one of the more prestigious events nationally. Then also the Wednesday night scalp ball, that whole circuit against some of the top prospects. How do you think the Trinity League prepared you for that? And conversely, how do you think that prepares you to compete in the Trinity League?
Well, so going into the summer area code, I knew there's going to be a ton of dudes there, like blowing smoke, throwing gas. So, I mean, I used to it, like freshman year was kind of a blur, but the summer really helped me catch up to velo. Like the velo there is very similar to our league because we have dudes every single day pumping 90 plus. So, I mean, yeah, area code, it was hard. It was difficult because of the competition, but I think that overall is going to make me better, and it helped my approach better, and it made me realize that, okay, well, this guy's a power pitcher, so it gave me like a different mentality going up to the plate, that these guys are going to try to throw their fastball because they throw hard, so they're going to try to get ahead of me with that. But yeah, I mean that helped a lot. I saw a lot of dudes from the Trinity League playing area code games. I caught a lot of them, so I'm really similar with the whole velocity and stuff. So yeah.
Eric Sonheimer from the LA Times. Sean, Servite's had a lot of great pitchers through the years. Can you describe where Chris is at right now in his development? He's only a 10th grader. There's some great pitchers this year in the Trinity League. What's your expectations and what has he improved at?
Well, he's like I said, last year was and I was telling Brett outside the same thing, that when I saw him as a freshman, when you go to freshman tryouts, it's obviously the easiest thing is to pick out the best players. And it was very obvious that he was advanced for his age, especially on the mound. Now, he played a little outfield, but we put that behind us pretty quickly. But, I compared him to Gage Jump, and I kept thinking to myself, and I turned to Dave and I said, hey, the kid from J. Sarah, the lefty that was pitched as a freshman, this guy's as good as him, right? And he's like, yeah, definitely. So that was one of the factors. And then it was very obvious and very easy early in the fall that this guy's not your normal run-of-the-mill freshman. Just his ability to locate pitches is what's special. And the velo is coming a little bit better. I think last year he was 82 to 83. On a good day, it was 84 under the lights. The breaking ball's getting better. If he can just get, like I said earlier, just a couple % better each year, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. And when people started asking me, coaches call you and say, who do you have? And I was like, you guys need to be on this guy. You guys need to be on this guy. And I said to Coach Page, I said, people are going to miss on this guy because he doesn't throw hard, but he's only a ninth grader. So let's try to fast forward, 3 or 4 years and see what he can be. And the arm is fast, and just his ability to be able to pitch was special. So I think he's right in the line of the Schifatellis, guys that I've had and Dwayne's had. He's right where he needs to be. I expect from him this year to do exactly what he did this year. Go out there, make pitches, and keep us in the game. And we know he's human. We know he's only a sophomore. We're not asking him to be Superman. We just be who you are every day. That's the consistency that we look for. Like we talk about every day. Garrett, other hitters, just be who you are. Don't try to do more than you do. Just be you. And if he can stay with that, just be him every day, and that he's out there, he gives us a chance to win every time he's on the mound. And I think last year, I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but I think he had one bad inning all year. It was the inning against Cyprus. Unfortunately, it was a big game, and he was obviously our best pitcher last year. That's why he pitched in the playoffs, Game 1. And I don't hate to bring up something bad, but that makes us better as players when we can learn from those mistakes that we make in big situations. And he pitched at Hart Park. It was a 1-run game at Hart Park with 50 scouts in the stands and under the lights in the first, so that was. And in the opening day, we're playing La Mirada, and they're supposed to be the best team in Orange County, and they were very good. And I'm standing next to him. He's pitching Game 2, and Game 1's going, and we're losing. And I'm looking at him, and I'm watching him just to figure out, okay, this guy's going to get nervous at some point, right? Because he's never seen it. So, we're losing. Then all of a sudden we're winning, and he's the same. He's just sitting there watching the ball game with me. It was just like crazy. So at that point, I knew that, hey, this is different, and the character of the kid and the way he goes about his business, and the way he can pitch, it's just phenomenal. He's one of the best kids I've ever had, and I'm sorry to say that in front of him. He probably doesn't know that, but he's one of the best, competitors, and one of the kids we've had in the program in my 5 years. There's now 6, but we're special individual, special kid, special character, great family, all the things that you look for. And he's the first, and I know I'm going on about him, I apologize, but he's the first kid that we've had that I know of that, what do you want me to do in the summer? Okay, I want you to do anything. I want you to pitch in the area codes, underclassmen, and then I want you to take the summer off. Okay, can you imagine now at this day and age that you tell a kid to take the summer off, he's going to listen to you, while his travel ball coach is calling him saying, hey, you need to pitch this weekend. We got a tournament. And him and his family did exactly what we asked him to do. Be a kid, go gain some weight, go have some fun, but just do 1 or 2 events and then be done. He's already pitched more innings in his freshman year than he did 7th and 8th grade combined. So for us, he needed to rest. He needed to take some time off and to be healthy and to breathe. And he did it. And it's awesome. It was awesome to see. I was really, really proud of him and his family for doing that. And they could have said, no, Coach, we need to get committed. This is the year we got to get committed. And they didn't do that. And they trusted us in the process. And he ended up getting what he really wanted because he wanted to go to UCLA. And that's special. Yep. That was a really long answer. I apologize.
I was falling asleep.
Coach Bob Gibson, Catholic Sports View. What are some of the other class of 22 kids that are going to contribute this year we should be keeping an eye on?
Sophomores? Okay. Sophomores. Okay, Trevor Schmidt, played in the league last year, one of our hitters. He's going to hit and pitch for us. Based on how well he does on the mound, how much will he pitch, don't really know yet. We're trying to figure out that. He's a big one. Had a really good year as a freshman hitter. Just committed to U of A not too long ago, so we're really proud of him for that. And he'll be in the middle of our lineup somewhere. Has a great future as a hitter. As a pitcher, I think he's going to be a good high school pitcher. I don't think that's his future, and we've talked about it. But if he, again, we're just trying to get 5% better than last year. If he goes 5% better than last year, man, he's going to be really good, and he's going to be in the center of our lineup. We have a junior that's, I know it's not 22, but we have a junior that's played really well. Played JV last year and was probably disappointed that he played JV last year. We just really didn't have enough at bats for him to warrant him sitting there and watching, varsity games. His name's Luke Honicle. He's played great this fall. He's led off for us. He's done a heck of a job. Really pleasant surprise. I knew he was a pretty good player, but he changed positions. He was always a middle infielder. Excuse me. And we moved him to the outfield, and he took to it very easily. Great jumps, and just a really good competitive player. And he enjoys the game. He's one of the few guys when he comes in off the field, he's like, "Hey, let's go, man!" It's a light, fun, competitive energy that we need. We have 9 other mutes out there that are just standing there, and he's an energy guy and he's competitive. So it really brings a different dynamic, and we're really pleased to have him. Xavier Cardenas is another sophomore pitcher that's playing basketball right now. So we only get him part-time, but he's another big arm, right-hander, 6'5", 165. I mean, he's a guy that needs to gain weight and get better and stronger. And, he's a name that's popping on the scene as far as the colleges go, which, is great, but he needs to pitch for us well. And he will in the next, if not this year, he'll next year and the future. He just needs to develop a little bit more, spend a little bit more with the pitching side of it. So those are sophomores that we're really looking forward to. Jared Hawking is another sophomore that will play varsity, and we'll get some time in there and try to get him as many at-bats as I possibly can. He's a really good athlete that we need to develop, and he needs to just get more time. Like we say in the meeting, are you prepared for, 91 to 94 on Tuesday, and then 88 to 91 on Wednesday, and Fridays 87, 88. I mean, that's what we're looking at every week. So, when you come into my office and tell me you should be playing, what does your resume say that, hey, I can handle that? Well, nobody can, right? The reality is nobody can. So the good thing is we'll see, and we'll be able to feed these guys some at-bats and try to get them going as sophomores, or pitching innings as sophomores. So with the idea down the road that, hey, this is going to pay benefits for us, dividends down the road as a player. Anybody else? Jake? Okay, right now, I think that's on the varsity right now.
Anybody else? Thank you, Servite.
All right.
Thank you.